Imagine waking up tomorrow, free from the shackles of your own mind. That persistent voice of doubt silenced. The weight of constant worry lifted. The crippling fear of failure vanished. This isn't just a dream, it's a reality within your grasp. We've all been there, trapped in a spiral of negative thoughts, feeling powerless against our own minds. But what if I told you that you hold the key to breaking free? That's exactly what we'll explore in this video. We're about to embark on a transformative journey, one that will equip you with 5 simple, yet powerful steps to stop negative thinking in its tracks. This isn't just another self-help lecture. It's a deep dive into the essence of human cognition, drawing from ancient Stoic wisdom and cutting-edge psychological research. We'll unravel the intricate web of negative thought patterns and rebuild your mental framework from the ground up. By the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit of practical strategies to reshape your thought processes and reclaim control over your mind. But why should you care? Because negative thinking isn't just unpleasant, it's a thief. It robs you of joy, steals your potential, and sabotages your relationships. It's the invisible barrier standing between you and the life you've always dreamed of. By mastering these 5 steps, you're not just improving your mood, you're unlocking your full potential, enhancing your relationships, and paving the way for success in every area of your life. So, are you ready to revolutionize your thought patterns and transform your life? Let's begin this journey together, step by step, towards a more positive, empowered you. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, turbulent ocean. The waves crash relentlessly, each one representing a negative thought threatening to pull you under. This ocean is your mind, and for too long, you've been drowning in its depths. But today, right now, you're going to learn how to swim. No more than that. You're going to learn how to command those waves, to harness their power and use it to propel yourself forward. The first step in conquering negative thinking is awareness. It's about developing a keen sense of self-observation, becoming the watcher of your own thoughts. Think of it as setting up an internal alarm system, one that alerts you the moment a negative thought begins to form. This isn't about judgment or self-criticism. It's about clear, unbiased observation. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Now pay attention to the thoughts floating through your mind. Can you catch them? Can you see how they form, how they attempt to take hold? This is the beginning of your journey. By sharpening this awareness, you're already halfway to victory. But awareness alone isn't enough. The second step is challenge. Once you've identified a negative thought, it's time to put it on trial. Imagine yourself as both the prosecutor and the defense attorney in the courtroom of your mind. Is there concrete evidence to support this thought, or is it based on assumptions, fears, or past experiences that no longer serve you? Consider this. How many times have your worst fears actually come true? How often have your negative predictions been accurate? If you're honest with yourself, you'll likely find that your mind has been crying wolf far more often than not. This realization is powerful. It begins to erode the authority that negative thoughts have held over you for so long. The third step in our journey is reframing. This is where the true alchemy of the mind takes place. Once you've challenged a negative thought and found it lacking in evidence, it's time to reshape it. This isn't about forced positivity or denying reality. It's about finding a more balanced, constructive perspective. Let's say you're faced with a daunting task at work. The negative thought might be, I'm going to fail miserably and lose my job. The reframe could be, this is a challenging task, but it's an opportunity to learn and grow. Even if I struggle, I'll gain valuable experience. Do you see the shift? The situation hasn't changed, but your perspective has. And with that shift comes a world of difference in how you approach the task. This process of reframing is like learning a new language, the language of resilience and growth. At first, it might feel awkward, unnatural. You might stumble over the words, doubt your fluency. But with practice, it becomes second nature. You start to automatically seek out the constructive angle, the opportunity for growth, the silver lining in every cloud. The fourth step is action. Thoughts, both negative and positive, have a tendency to feed on inertia. The longer you sit with a negative thought, the more power it gains. But when you take action, no matter how small, you disrupt this pattern. You prove to yourself that you're not helpless, that you have the power to influence your circumstances. This action doesn't have to be grandiose. It can be as simple as taking a short walk when you're feeling overwhelmed, calling a friend when loneliness creeps in, or breaking a large task into smaller, manageable steps when self-doubt tells you it's impossible. The key is to move, to do something, anything that contradicts the board. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. And in this journey of mental transformation, each action you take is a step towards a more positive, empowered you. It's about building momentum, creating a positive feedback loop where a negative narrative your mind is trying to spin leads to improved thoughts, which in turn inspire more positive action. The fifth and final step in our process is perhaps the most powerful, yet often the most overlooked: self-compassion. In our relentless pursuit of self-improvement, we often become our own harshest critics. We berate ourselves for every perceived failure, every negative thought that crosses our mind. But this approach is counterproductive. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Instead, imagine treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend or a small child. When negative thoughts arise, instead of berating yourself, offer yourself comfort and support. Acknowledge the pain or fear behind the thought, and remind yourself that it's a normal part of the human experience. This self-compassion isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the foundation upon which true resilience is built. When you're kind to yourself, you create a safe internal environment, one where you're more willing to take risks, to challenge negative thoughts, to grow and evolve. As we delve deeper into these 5 steps, I want you to understand that this isn't just a theoretical exercise. This is about real, tangible change in your life. It's about reclaiming the power that you've unknowingly ceded to negative thinking patterns over the years. It's about writing a new story for yourself, one where you are the hero, not the victim. Think about the areas of your life where negative thinking has held you back. Maybe it's in your career, where imposter syndrome has kept you from reaching for that promotion. Perhaps it's in your relationships, where fear of rejection has prevented you from opening your heart fully. Or it could be in your personal growth, where self-doubt has convinced you that you're not capable of change. Now imagine those same areas of your life, but with the weight of negative thinking lifted. Picture yourself approaching challenges with confidence, seeing opportunities where you once saw only obstacles. Envision relationships built on trust and openness, unencumbered by needless fears and insecurities. See yourself embracing personal growth with enthusiasm, knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. This transformation isn't just possible, it's inevitable when you consistently apply these 5 steps. But let me be clear. This isn't about achieving some state of perpetual, unrealistic positivity. Life will still have its ups and downs. You'll still face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. The difference is that you'll now have the tools to navigate these challenges without being pulled under by negative thought patterns. Think of it like learning to sail. You can't control the wind or the waves, but you can learn to adjust your sails, to use even the most challenging conditions to move forward. That's what these 5 steps offer you. The ability to adjust your mental sails, to harness the power of your thoughts, rather than being at their mercy. As we continue this journey together, I want you to remember one crucial truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, the captain of your mental ship. Your thoughts are tools, not masters. And with the right approach, even the most negative thoughts can be transformed into catalysts for growth and positive change. In the quiet moments of self-reflection, when the world falls away and you're left alone with your thoughts, what do you hear? Is it a voice of encouragement, of possibility, of growth? Or is it a relentless critic, always ready to point out your flaws, to remind you of past failures, to paint a bleak picture of your future? For too many of us, it's the latter. But today, right now, we're going to change that narrative. Consider for a moment the cumulative effect of negative thinking. It's not just about feeling bad in the moment. It's about the opportunities missed, the relationships strained, the dreams abandoned. It's about living a life that's a mere shadow of what it could be. But here's the liberating truth. Just as negative thinking can compound over time, so too can positive thinking. And the shift begins with a single thought, a single moment of choosing differently. Let's dive deeper into the first step: awareness. This isn't just about noticing negative thoughts when they occur. It's about developing a heightened sense of your mental landscape. Start paying attention to the triggers that tend to spark negative thinking patterns. Is it certain environments, specific people, particular types of situations? By identifying these triggers, you're not just reacting to negative thoughts, you're getting ahead of them. This awareness extends beyond just the thoughts themselves. Notice how negative thinking affects your body. Does your breath become shallow? Do your shoulders tense? Does your stomach knot up? These physical reactions are not separate from your thoughts. They're an integral part of the negative thinking cycle. By tuning into these bodily sensations, you gain another tool in your arsenal against negative thinking. As you practice this awareness, you might be shocked by just how many negative thoughts cross your mind each day. Don't be discouraged by this realization. Remember, awareness is the first step towards change. You can't address what you don't acknowledge. Each negative thought you notice is not a failure, it's an opportunity for transformation. Now let's explore the second step: challenge. This is where you put on your detective hat and start investigating your thoughts with ruthless objectivity. When a negative thought arises, ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or feelings? Am I jumping to conclusions? Am I focusing on just one piece of the puzzle while ignoring the bigger picture? One powerful technique in this challenge phase is to imagine you're cross-examining your negative thought in a courtroom. What evidence would you present to support this thought? What evidence contradicts it? If a friend came to you with this same thought, what would you say to them? Often, we're much more reasonable and compassionate when dealing with others' negative thoughts than our own. This challenging phase is not about positive thinking in the traditional sense. It's not about replacing "I'm going to fail" with "I'm definitely going to succeed." It's about introducing doubt into the certainty of your negative thoughts. It's about creating space for alternative interpretations, for possibility, for hope. As you become more adept at challenging your thoughts, you'll start to notice patterns. Perhaps you have a tendency towards all or nothing thinking. Or maybe you often engage in mind reading, assuming you know what others are thinking about you. Recognizing these patterns is powerful because it allows you to challenge not just individual thoughts, but entire modes of thinking. The third step, reframing, is where the real magic happens. This is where you take the raw material of your challenged thoughts and shape them into something constructive. Remember, the goal here isn't to pretend everything is perfect. It's to find a perspective that is both realistic and empowering. For example, let's say you make a mistake at work. The negative thought might be, "I'm incompetent and I'll never succeed in this career." The reframe isn't, "I'm perfect and never make mistakes." Instead, it might be something like, "I made a mistake, which is a normal part of learning and growth. This is an opportunity to improve and become even better at my job." This reframing process is about more than just putting a positive spin on things. It's about training your mind to see the full spectrum of any situation. It's about developing mental flexibility, the ability to shift perspectives and find opportunity in adversity. As you practice this skill, you'll find that it becomes easier and more natural. You'll start to automatically seek out alternative viewpoints, to question your initial negative interpretations. The fourth step, action, is where thought transforms into reality. It's one thing to reframe a negative thought, but it's another entirely to act on that new perspective. This step is crucial because it creates a bridge between your internal world and your external reality. It's the difference between knowing the path and walking the path. Let's say you've reframed your thought about a mistake at work from "I'm incompetent" to "This is an opportunity to learn and improve." The action step might involve approaching your supervisor to discuss the mistake, asking for feedback, or researching ways to enhance your skills in that area. These actions not only address the immediate situation, but also build your confidence and competence for the future. Remember, the actions don't have to be grand gestures. Small, consistent steps forward are often more powerful than sporadic leaps. The key is to do something, anything, that aligns with your reframed perspective. Each action you take is a vote of confidence in your ability to change, to grow, to overcome. As you implement these action steps, pay close attention to the results. Notice how taking positive action, no matter how small, shifts your emotional state. Observe how it impacts your thought patterns moving forward. This feedback loop is essential. It provides tangible evidence that you have the power to influence your thoughts and your life, reinforcing your commitment to this process of change. The fifth and final step, self-compassion, is the thread that weaves through all the others. It's the gentle voice that encourages you to keep going when awareness reveals an abundance of negative thoughts. It's the supportive presence that stands by you as you challenge long-held beliefs. It's the nurturing force that celebrates your efforts to reframe and take action, regardless of the outcome. Practicing self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a good friend. It means acknowledging that negative thoughts and challenging emotions are part of the human experience, not personal failings. It means recognizing that the path to change is rarely linear, and that setbacks are not just normal, but valuable opportunities for learning and growth. This self-compassion extends to how you approach this entire process of combating negative thinking. If you find yourself struggling with any of these steps, resist the urge to criticize or berate yourself. Instead, offer yourself encouragement. Acknowledge the courage it takes to confront negative thought patterns and the effort you're putting into creating positive change. As we near the end of our journey together, I want you to take a moment to envision the person you'll become as you master these 5 steps. See yourself moving through life with greater ease and confidence. Picture yourself approaching challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Imagine the ripple effect this transformation will have on your relationships, your career, your dreams. This vision isn't a fantasy, it's a preview of what's possible when you commit to this process. The power to reshape your thought patterns and by extension your life has always been within you. These 5 steps are simply the key to unlocking that power. As you go forward from here, remember that change is a process, not an event. There will be days when negative thoughts seem to have the upper hand. When that happens, don't despair. Return to these 5 steps. Practice awareness. Challenge those thoughts. Reframe your perspective. Take positive action, no matter how small. And always, always treat yourself with compassion. You are embarking on one of the most important journeys of your life, the journey to master your own mind. It won't always be easy, but I promise you it will always be worth it. With each negative thought you transform, you're not just changing your mind, you're changing your life. So, are you ready? Ready to step into a life unburdened by the weight of negative thinking? Ready to unlock your full potential? Ready to become the architect of your own happiness? The journey begins now, with this moment, with your next thought. The power is yours. Use it wisely, use it often, and watch as your world transforms before your eyes.